You know, it's a good thing that Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Bob Iger's early exit is starting to make a lot more sense. Star Wars, you see, has been gone at the box office. No movies in theaters for 7 whole years. Pent-up demand there should be, yes? But guess what? All of that stuff about Pedro Pascal being the hot star at cinemas, bury it. It's over. Box office tracking for The Mandalorian and Grogu is here, and it makes Attack of the Clones look like a gold-plated X-Wing. Stick around, folks. And hey, Lucasfilm, this one's gonna sting. Hello folks, hello friends, welcome back yet again. Another video of excellence on the way as we continue to dive deep into the hallowed halls of Hollyweird and expose what's really going on, and expose we will indeed. This is a big one. Click that like button, take a look at this. It was on Friday morning that we released a video called Disney is Giving Up on Mandalorian and Grogu weeks before release. And so we scooped this Friday morning, right? Guess what, folks? By Friday afternoon, the scoop was not only true, but now we know why, and oh my. From Box Office Theory, hours after we released that video. That's why, you know, folks, come here and get early bird specials on what's going to be the headlines for tomorrow. Sean Robbins reports, box office tracking and forecasts. Will The Mandalorian and Grogu, 71 million 3-day, help revive Star Wars on the big screen for Memorial Day weekend? Oof. Oof, and more oof. This is bad. This is really, really, really bad. And if you are, let me give some advice, unsolicited advice moment. If you're one of those shills out there and you're going to defend this and you're going to say, they're going to make terrible videos about this, but don't you listen to them. This is not the time. This is the time to flee that side. You should flee. Trust me. Because this is not going well. Sean Robbins writing this. He's the founder and president of Box Office Theory, and I'll show you just how bad it is in 1 second. The Mandalorian and Grogu, after a 6.5-year absence, returns to big screen following Rise of Skywalker, so surely, right? I mean, it's based on the big Disney Plus show, Mandalorian and Grogu, Pedro Pascal, Internet's daddy. Surely it's going to do good, right? Goes on to talk about all this stuff. We don't got to read, okay? What you got to know is they've got all this listed out. You see this movie down here, Michael? Michael from Lionsgate. You know what Michael is? I don't know what Michael is. I mean, I know who Michael is. I know lots of Michaels, but I don't know this Michael. 75 million projection. Low end. 75. The Devil Wears Prada 2. Low end. 70. It might beat it. Mandalorian and Grogu right now projected at 71. At 71. How bad is that, folks? Well, if it comes out at 71 domestically on Memorial Day weekend, which remember is kind of unfair to those other movies because Memorial Day weekend is one of the biggest weekends of the year for the box office. You've got a built-in advantage. It's why people want to release for Memorial Day weekend. People have it embedded into their traditions of Memorial Day weekend to go see the movies. Star Wars Episode 8. The Last Jedi. All right? I don't want to bring back trauma to you, but just hang on. I need to show you something. 2.82 legs. Okay? 2.82 legs. Opening weekend for The Last Jedi, unadjusted, was $220 million. It had 2.82 legs. That means you can multiply that opening weekend plus the international by 2.82. That's the final box office run for it. What about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker? Legs, 2.9. Pretty darn close, eh? 2.9, opening weekend, 177, right? You can take that opening weekend plus the international, multiply it by 2.9, you get the full run of that movie. Solo, a Star Wars movie, which, by the way, opened bigger than The Mandalorian and Grogu is projected now. Solo, a Star Wars movie that caused Bob Iger to come out and say, you know, we got to stop doing this. That put the hiatus on Star Wars for 7 years. Solo, a Star Wars story. Scrolling down. Legs, 2.53. Opening weekend, 84. That's unadjusted for inflation. Adjusted for inflation, it's over 100 million. Just so you know. We're tracking 30% less in ticket sales for The Mandalorian and Grogu right now. But again, 2.53. So these Star Wars films have a remarkable leg out. A remarkable leg out. It's practically the same every single time. 2.5, 2.8, 2.9. That's really similar, especially in a day and age where some movies leg out like 6x, some movies leg out, like 1.5x. To leg out almost at 3 every single time is amazing. So let's just do something here together, shall we? Okay, so let's go back to what we've got here, which is a $71 million box office opening for Memorial Day weekend. Ooh, that's bad. All right, but you know what? Folks, let's play a game here. Let's play a game that it opens with a 1-to-1 international to domestic. I don't think it's going to, but let's pretend it's in its favor if we pretend that way. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but let's pretend it. 142, right? That's the 142 global box office opening. Now, if we aim for the middle of Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and Solo, and we do all the leg outs there, 2.75 is about a fair leg out. If you apply a 2.75 to 142, you get $390 million. $390 million box office run for Mandalorian and Grogu is currently what we're projecting here on the channel. I think it has a possibility of topping 400. It's going to depend on the reviews. It's going to depend on if people like the movie. If it's poorly received, it's going to make less, like 375. If it's really a great film and Jon Favreau has knocked out of the park and managed to keep Dave Filoni's fingers off of it, then it could go above 400. But right now, this film is going to struggle to make $400 million. Now, how does that compare to other Star Wars movies? Well, adjusted for inflation, that's what matters, right? Because we want to know tickets sold versus tickets sold today. We want to know, adjusted for inflation to today's dollars, how does it compare? Oy vey. Ouch. Ouch. You know, all the stuff about Star Wars is still popular. It kind of is, right? I mean, we still see AI videos that people are making very popular. Like, people want good Star Wars, but people have lost all hope in Lucasfilm and Disney to make good Star Wars. That's what this is. And nobody cares about Pedro and Grogu and the Mandalorian. I'm sorry for Jon Favreau. I'm sorry he got roped into this. It's ugly. It's nasty. It's about to get real nasty as I explain this. So, folks, if the Mandalorian and Grogu struggles to make $400 million, you need to understand that that would put it at about 1/8 of The Force Awakens. 1/8. We are currently 1/8 as popular as when The Force Awakens came out. The original Star Wars made 2.7, essentially, $2.7 billion. Then The Phantom Menace, which had that pent-up excitement, remember? $1.8 billion. I don't think it's a good movie. Some people do. I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's a huge disappointment. But all that pent-up demand for Star Wars, 1.8. The Last Jedi managed to make $1.7 billion. And I could keep going. And listen, The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi would be much higher. I don't want to do the class on those movies right now. There is some really interesting backstory about how George Lucas handled the box office back then. Let's save that for another day. There are a lot of people who don't understand how that game was played and why those numbers are not just as big as Star Wars. They could have been, but strategy was afoot. Folks, if we go to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, which is the only movie that it's the only movie that George Lucas made that stayed in the box office the normal way and performed this low. You just got to know, this is painful to say. Honestly, we've been covering this for a long time, and we've suffered through the Acolyte, and they deserve it. And Kathleen Kennedy deserves it. And she got out of Dodge, and Bob Iger deserves it. And he got out of Dodge too. They all deserve this. But the truth is here now. If this film makes less than $400 million, we are looking at a film that will make 1/3 of Attack of the Clones money, adjusted for inflation. 1/3 of Attack of the Clones. So when we told you when we told you Friday morning, before this information was out, before this was released, before the very first box office tracking was out there, when we came out and said, Disney is giving up on Mandalorian and Grogu, we were there before anybody else saying, whoa, wait, everybody, something's happening, something's happening. And now you know what's happening. Can I tell you it gets worse for Disney, Star Wars, and for Lucasfilm? Cosmic Marvel has this. It says an early look at Avengers Doomsday will be revealed at CinemaCon on April 16th. Disney is expected to pull out all the stops during their panel in terms of star and filmmaker power. April 16th. Now, we should be into the major marketing stage for Mandalorian and Grogu. And instead, Disney is going to be pushing Avengers Doomsday. That takes away the visibility of Mandalorian and Grogu, right? Why would they not wait until, Comic-Con? Why would they not wait until the summer? Why are they going to push this for CinemaCon in April? Why is the Mandalorian and Grogu not the front and center act of what we're paying attention to at CinemaCon? Shouldn't Pedro be there? Shouldn't baby Grogu, the puppet, be there? Shouldn't Kathleen Kennedy be coming back to talk about what an honor it is for this to have been the final film that she really oversaw before exiting Lucasfilm? Shouldn't Bob Iger be there talking about this is the way he wants to go out with George Lucas's legacy, cemented and his fomented forever? He is the mousy messiah, but he's not all that. He's also the guy who sent a galaxy far, far away into the stratosphere. No, you'll get none of that. Disney's moving on. Avengers Doomsday is the new hope. Because all the hope for Peepaw, that's what they called Pedro, remember? Peepaw. All the hope for Peepaw has gone. It's gone from their veins, and they feel the icy chill of what's about to happen. 1/3 as popular right now, tracking, as Attack of the Clones. Even I hurt for them, and they have hurt me plenty with the stuff they put out there. Starfighter, thank goodness you have Ryan Gosling. But everything else Disney Plus with Star Wars, I would say, is under heavy scrutiny as to whether or not it has any viability. If there's any chance for this franchise to stand under the current leadership. Every red alert has been flashing, every signal buzzing, every alarm going off, and I'm afraid now it's gone dark. And I don't know what Disney is going to do with this, but this is a miss of catastrophic proportions. This is unsustainable for Star Wars. This is going to be perhaps their most visible loss yet. And the Acolyte was a heck of a loss. But this one's on Filoni. Unfortunately, it's on Favreau, but I think his hands have been tied. But Filoni, he's going to stay. And this one's on him. And nobody at Disney, especially not Bergman. And Walden's going to look for a scapegoat real fast. Nobody at Disney is going to trust Filoni going forward. This is really bad. All right, folks, that is the video for this morning. Happy Sunday morning. How about that? Roses and sunshine. Sorry, we can't make every video be about Project Hail Mary. I said Project Hail Mary. Well, that's right, isn't it? Isn't it? If they can do Barbenheimer, we'll keep saying Project Hail Mario. Not every video can be about the wins that are happening. We got to talk about the losses too, and maybe this is a win for you. I mean, this is one heck of a comeuppance for Lucasfilm. Something that I don't think even they 6 months ago could have ever believed. This is supposed to be an $800 million movie. This is supposed to be a tickle $1 billion movie. This is supposed to be as big as, the biggest, Marvel movies out there. This is a total embarrassment. Gosh, golly, yowza. All right, folks, click the like button, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and who knows, maybe this week we'll outscoop everybody again. We try, and we stay humble, of course, even if we understand the Holly Weirds in a way that not even they dare understand themselves. As we say goodbye, folks, click the like button and keep learning, keep growing, and as always, even Even if you work at Lucasfilm, find a way to keep having fun.
Hey everyone, I'm Wilton the Troll, and I got a really important PAF. I just feel it's important to take a moment to reflect on the current slate of Star Wars movie. I mean, we haven't had a woman take the lead on any Star Wars projects whatsoever in Star Wars yet. And that's partly because other women who are leading Star Wars, they don't want to let that happen, which totally isn't stereotypical of women. Am I right, ladies? But here we are, with director Charmin Abinadab Chinook or something. Anyway, she's a woman who's bringing a lot of weight to Star Wars because of her, pedigree. I mean, look at her. And yes, it's time for a woman to lead Star Wars. I mean, thing that has totally worked in every other sphere of life, especially politics. Come on, Hillary Clinton, you tell them that it's time for a woman to smash that patriarchy. Anyway, that's all I have to say, and I think it's important for you to know that. Thank you.